Chaz Savage, the Chief Executive Officer of Ethos CRS, and I'd like to talk to you today about the subject of the day, which is leadership in dynamic and troubling times. The Cruel Sea is the name of a fantastic Australian band headed up by Tex Perkins. But it's also the name of a novel by Nicholas Montserrat that was first published in 1951. This Cruel Sea is the story of the Battle of the Atlantic, which was fought between Britain and Nazi Germany during the Second World War. It tells of an ocean, 2 ships, and a handful of men. The men are the heroes. The villains are the sea, the circumstances, and the imperative to act with a cruel resolve in a simple effort to survive. Most of us, and I include myself here, cannot imagine the hardship, the high stress, and the constant strain of that service. The protagonist is Keith Lockhart, a relatively inexperienced officer who had to learn to become expert in the most unforgiving of environments. His captain is George Erickson, who is charged with the responsibility of keeping convoys safe with a team of novices, amateur sailors, and buoys. At first, Lockhart perceives Erickson to be shambling, absent, and ineffectual. Too often, Lockhart tells himself, he is a junior officer left to make decisions in an unfamiliar and hostile environment. The penny drops for Lockhart, however, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, when the real work begins of protecting merchant vessels from submarine attack. Erickson is present all the time. When everything is at stake, Erickson as a leader becomes calmer, clearer, ever alert, in control. In this then, he is supported by Lockhart, who has learnt so much about the work of leadership by doing it alone. The reality was that when nothing really was at stake, Lockhart was practising to be a leader. I remember reading this story as a boy and thinking about these men. I was hugely impressed with the idea of becoming more compact, denser, calmer, and quieter when under pressure. As a model of leadership, it has stayed with me ever since. But dynamic and troubling times do not just require a constant, expert presence. So now I've added to my list of what makes for a good leader. Think of these 10 points as a guide to leadership in a time of coronavirus. The first point is be calm. A good leader becomes calm under pressure. They don't lash out, they don't blame others, they don't make excuses. Number 2, clarity of direction. Leaders set out where teams and organisations are going and what needs to be done to get there. Number 3, clarity of thought. Good leaders don't waste the time of teams by distractions. They understand what they know and what they need to know. Certainty. Good leaders create certainty, because teams that are unsure and uncertain cannot work well. Leaders communicate what they know, what they don't know, and what they need to know. Rule number 5 is competent and quick decisions. The shorthand for leaders don't dither. Rather, they collect the information necessary to decide and then they act. Note here that a quick decision and a rash decision are not the same. Number 6 is confidence. A leader imbues a team with the self-belief that they are up for the job and then supports them to get the job done. Number 7 is courage, moral courage. A leader takes responsibility for and protects the team. A leader also takes responsibility for their own decisions and behaviour. Correctness. A leader is not always right, and so has to position the team so that things are got right and done right. Rule number 9, cohesion. The only thing that matters is the success of the team. Finally, number 10, a good leader communicates so that teams are clear about what has to be done. Now, to learn more about a structured approach that builds the leadership and management skills that are essential in dynamic and troubled times, all you have to do is contact us. I look forward to talking soon. Thank you for your time today. Please stay safe.